give Jesse Minter hire a letter grade?
I give it a nice B minus.
I
give it a nice B minus, man. I love Jesse Minter's defensive scheme. You implement that scheme with the talent that the Ravens have, I think that's going to fare well. I think that's going to be a great combo. The minus, I just tell you, the minus is because I thought you would put an offensive-minded guy with Lamar just so they can be locked in for years to come. Now, say Jesse Minter does hire a great OC, Lamar get back to 2024 Lamar and everything rolling. They win the chip or AFC chip division, whatever. They have a pretty solid season. It's liable that offensive coordinator could be gone. You have to do it all over again. So I like the hire as far as, I don't know what kind of leader the guy is, but I love his defensive scheme. The defense will definitely be better. He got to hire a good OC, and hopefully he locks somebody in, hire somebody who will be locked in for years to come. Mike McDaniel would have been a good hire because I think he's not getting another shot, even though he got an interview. He's not getting another shot for the next 3, maybe 4 years. So he would have been a good hire for anybody because he's going to be locked in. But B minus, I give it a B minus, man. I like it.
I'm close to lead. I got him at a C. I think it's a real average hire. I thought the idea was to get away from the Harbaugh technique, right? And you hire somebody that's a mirror image and that's really built his whole resume under the Harbaughs. That's problematic to me. Also, he's a great coordinator during the regular season, like Lee said. I love his scheme. I love the fire zones and making the quarterbacks make decisions on the go. What he done with the Chargers in the last 2 years. But another thing with Baltimore is I thought we're trying to win championships and get over the hump. And in the playoffs, his defense doesn't perform too well, right? You look at it against quality teams, gave up 41 against the Cowboys, lost to the Texans, gave up a dub, but he just gave up 38 points to the Patriots this year. Last year, he gave up 32 to the Texans. Now, you may say that Herbert turned the ball over 4 times last year, but you still got to be stout on defense. You got to go out there on defense and not give up anything. And especially in those situations, you can't give up touchdowns. You have to give up 3 points. So those 3 points better add up to 12 and 18 and not 32. So I think it's a real average hire. He doesn't do too well against quality teams, playoff caliber teams, and great offense. Yeah, you can beat up on middle of the pack offenses in regular season. That's great. But this is Baltimore. We're trying to win a championship. Now, it goes back to what Lee said about the offensive coordinator. Who do you hire? That's going to have a lot to do with this grade also. Like, who are you going to bring in as your OC to help you in this situation? And I talked to some of the Chargers players when I asked about him. I didn't hear he was a dog coach. I didn't hear he was a great leader. I heard he was cool, he's a good guy, and those type of things, man. Those type of things don't get shit done. You need a coach that's going to come in, demand expectations, and produce. Now, he may be a good guy, but I want to see what you do on the latter end of the season when it counts, December and January.
I gave him a B. I actually like this hire. I like Jesse Minter.
Okay.
He's, one of those up-and-coming young coordinators that I think does deserve a shot to lead a football team. He's had success everywhere he's gone as a DC. They won a national championship in Michigan back in 2023. A large part of that was because of Minter and that defense. You could almost say, 90% of the reason they won a national championship was because of that defense. I mean, they were number 1 in total defense. They were number 1 in scoring defense. Skip, they only gave up 10 points per game in the Big Ten, then went to the college football playoff and dominated in both of those games.
They had some horses on that defense.
They did have some horses on that defense.
When you had the best players.
You've seen defenses with good players that doesn't have a great scheme, and those things have to work hand in hand.
Agreed.
I really like Minter's scheme, and it also translates to the NFL. We saw it with the Chargers the last couple of seasons. In 2024, I know you mentioned the playoffs and some of these games where they've given up some points, but in 2024, they only gave up 17 points per game. They led the NFL in scoring defense. That shows me that there's proof in the pudding that he can have success. Now, we know he can call a defense, the biggest question to your point is, can he lead a football team? Is he a leader of men? I think he can be. I know you mentioned the Harbaughs and you're trying to get away from that, but I think that's good on your resume to have that type of knowledge in your background. You've learned from John Harbaugh. You've learned from Jim Harbaugh. You've had some good coordinators and Dean Pease, and you've worked alongside Mike McDonald, and you've worked for Wink Martindale as a DC. So even though he's a young coach and hasn't been a head coach yet, he has all of that experience and knowledge that he's gained from these other coaches that he's worked with. And then the final thing, like you guys mentioned, I think the most important factor for him is who you hire as your offensive coordinator. That's my biggest question, because Akib made a great point. If this cycle you were worried about getting someone that's going to be with Lamar for the long term and be there for a while, well, nowadays you have a coordinator, they do a great job, they're gone in a couple of years. So I think if he goes out and hires someone that can help this offense get to that next level and work great with Lamar and bring the best or bring the most out of the playmakers around him, then it can move maybe from a B to a B plus and potentially an A. But yeah, that's my biggest question right now, is who he goes out and hires for his offensive coordinator, because his success in Baltimore is going to rely heavily upon that offense and what Lamar does the next couple of seasons.
Okay. I will admit, TJ's argument for the negative here was so powerful to me, you almost flipped my grade. I'm just sitting here thinking, should I? I gave him a B, as did you, a little bit above Akib's, but I don't disagree with your premise, because you want to get away from the Harbaugh, and you went right back to young Harbaugh, right? You went back to the next Harbaugh. But everybody I have talked to for the last 24 hours around the league, and I know a lot of people for a long time, they just rave about this kid. And he's 42, so I don't know if you can call him a kid, but he's been...
As a coach, though,
he is. He's a kid coach, because he's never been a head coach. And that does concern me, that you have zero experience running the whole show. And yet, I keep hearing the word genius thrown around about his defensive prowess, his see it, coach it, teach it prowess. That I like it that he's a son of a former coach who for about 10 years was the head coach at the University of Cincinnati. I like bloodline coaches.
Yeah.
I like it that he did learn under two really good coaches, and Jim and John Harbaugh. And I like it that for 4 years he was on that staff in Baltimore, and he was there in Lamar's rookie year, so he got to get to know Lamar a little bit. I don't know how well you can really get to know Lamar in his in mentor's spot, but he did, because Lamar was running the scout team for the first half of his rookie year, so he worked a little more closely with Jesse Minter. Okay, I like all that, so I'll stick with my B. But then to all your points, obviously his calling card is defense. Jesse Minter, he has no offense in his background whatsoever. So now, to me, because your best player and most important player by far in the franchise is obviously the quarterback, now everything hinges on who you hire, who you can get to come bond with Coach Lamar. And I think that hire is now actually a little more important than Jesse Minter. I do. It's a weird dynamic, because Lamar is tricky. His personality is tricky, but he's obviously a dynamic player who did not have a dynamic year because he was feuding with the head coach.
Yeah.
So now you have to make this stick. And all last week, the runaway rampant speculation reported and across the internet was that they were going to go Anthony Weaver, obviously was the defensive coordinator in Miami, as the head coach with Cliff Kingsbury as the coordinator. And reportedly, Lamar was cool with that. I don't know if I trust that or not, but that was the report. So is Kingsbury still in the running? I know Akib doesn't love him, but I'm a Kingsbury guy. I just believe in his ability, because I watched him with a freshman named Johnny Manziel help coach him and teach him to a Heisman Trophy, first freshman to ever win the Heisman. And then I watched him with Kyler. I know it flamed out, but they made the playoffs. They actually, he got him to a playoff game, and they got blown out at the Rams. But he did that. Mm-hmm. And then with Jaden Daniels, Jaden had the best rookie quarterback year ever under Cliff. So I've seen Cliff do that, and I know him and I believe in him. And so I think he would be good with Lamar, because I think Lamar would respect him and click with him. So that's more key to me than even the head coaching hire. And it is kind of blah to me. It's not. Look, Akib, you and I from the start, I wanted Brian Flores to get this job because he's a dynamo. He's a powerhouse. He's head coached before, and he would be the perfect fit for Lamar. He and Lamar would really click and bond, and Lamar would have great respect for him. I don't know what happened. Now I'm to the point where I think the lawsuit that he filed against the league is going to haunt him, and maybe that's why no owner's going to give him a shot. But that's just me. What do you think, Akib?
If they went D coordinator as the guy, I don't see why it wasn't Brian Flores.
Yeah.
But it wasn't Brian Flores. But back to the TJ point, I don't see why did we want to get away from the Harbaugh? Like, I mean, if his message got stale, that don't mean every guy on his tree's message going to get stale. This is a young Harbaugh, so to speak. I like a guy being this close to both Harbaughs. I don't see nothing wrong with that. Now, I get your point about the playoffs. Now, he is giving up them buns in the playoffs. He is giving it up in the playoffs, but, I mean, turnovers do play a big part in the playoffs, man. So I get it, but I really like him being under the Harbaughs, both Harbaugh's wings, getting his shot. So that's why I gave him a B-.
Yeah. And to TJ's point, I think it is important to note, yes, he was there from 2017 to 2020, which does carry some weight. He knows what it takes to win there. He understands expectations, and he's been a part of the AFC North. But I think he's far enough removed. He's been gone for 5 years now, even though he's been with Jim Harbaugh, that he's learned some other things along the way at Michigan with the Chargers, to where he still has that fresh feel coming back. And it's not just, all right, Harbaugh taking over all over again. It's a younger Harbaugh. He'll have some different ideas. And John and Jim are both different coaches, too.
Yeah, they are.
One's defensive-minded, one's offensive-minded, one's at the college level. Now with the Chargers, multiple different organizations. So I think there is still that fresh, new era feeling, instead of just being, all right, well, we left from Harbaugh, now we're going straight to another Harbaugh. And still, to Keith's point, I would want some of that, because he did have a lot of success and he won a Super Bowl in Baltimore. So take some of the good things he's learned, but then also, evolve and make it into your own thing, which I think Jesse Minter will do.
Okay, but what would be his own thing in that? Now, don't get it twisted. As a coordinator, you have to have the players to make. There's no guru without the guys on the field.
Yeah.
Point blank, period. Now, John, he came into that job at 45, so he wasn't much older. But he had, the luxury of having guys like Ray Lewis, Terrell Suggs, Ed Reed. There's none of those type of guys on that Ravens defense right now.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I would say.
Like who?
Like Metabuke, they D lineman is
He's a good
league, bro.
He's a great player. He's definitely a great player.
Safety,
but all around,
the young bull safety is one of the top safeties in the league right now.
He's still young as well. Hamilton is still young. He's going into his second contract coming up soon. What I'm saying is more not the ability lead, but it's more the experience. That's what I'm more talking about, that leadership to help a young head coach out handle some of those, those things like that.
He got Roquan Smith. I feel like he got guys, man.
Yeah.
He got real leaders on all three levels of the defense. He got the guys in place for the defense. I think that's what he brings. His own thing is that defensive scheme is Mike Minter's, and it's unique as he is. You know what I'm saying? It's a real matchy zone. You're gonna confuse the shit out of them quarterbacks. I feel like that's what he brings, and that's what get him a B. It's his scheme that he brings to the team. That's what get him a B right there, man. So it just matters what he do with his offense, and it matters what kind of leader he is. That's the two things that we don't know.
Yeah, and Skip's point is finding what offensive coordinator is going to be. I wonder how much Lamar had a say in this decision. If he's obviously spent a year in his rookie decision,
You think none?
year.
Well,
Lamar ain't picked this. I guarantee you, Lamar ain't. He ain't picked this.
Well, Bisciotti said he was going to be present for all the interviews. So
he might have been present for the interview. Might not have been present for the interview.
Yeah,
Lamar picked this.
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't think he had. What was Bisciotti's quote? I have
no
power.
power.
I have
Right?
Yeah. No power.
Yeah.
Dang, well, hopefully he has a say in the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, he has to have a say.
He's got to have a say.
I'm just to my point. I don't see any Hall of Famers on that defense.
Really?
Hey, maybe not yet. We'll see.
Yeah.
Hey,
But
Hamilton is
Kyle
nice.
Hamilton is
Hamilton
good.
has
I think
ability.
he's got a chance.
He has great ability.
He's on the path.
Yeah, he
to the Hall
is.
of Fame.
He's a good player.
But
I
we
don't know
talking
about the rest of them.
First ballot Ed Reed.
No. But
Hey, a couple names to keep an eye on, too, offensive coordinator. I think that could work well with Lamar is obviously – I like Kingsbury, too. I'm a big fan of Mike LaFleur, though, who's the OC with the Rams. You got Declan Doyle, who's the offensive coordinator with the Bears. And then you got Clay Kubiak, who's the offensive coordinator with the Niners. All of those guys, although they're listed as OC, aren't play callers, but they're learning under that Shanahan tree. So now Minter could probably convince them. I know it's a lateral move technically, but to come over there, work with Lamar, and be able to call their own plays instead of the head coach calling plays.
So how drastic is it from being just an OC and not a play caller?
I think it's very drastic because
it's a big difference.
It's one thing to prepare with guys. And, I like that. Maybe we can do this. And then when you on the spot, it's like how drastic is it from being a backup safety to being the starting safety, bub? You tell me that. It's totally fucking different. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You are the starter now. You know what I'm saying? So it's totally different to me.
I wish they would have kept Todd Monken.
Yeah, for sure.
I really do. I wish they would have kept Monken for another year. I know they had a down year this year and they had some injuries, but what Lamar did in 2023 and 2024 under Monken and what he's done for Derrick Henry, I just thought it would have been great for Minter to have that experience, retain Monken, so you don't have to worry too much about the offense, a guy that you know would be there for a couple more years. So
especially a healthy Lamar.
Yeah.
If he was
and a healthy Lamar
system, I think you're right. Yeah.
All those guys you mentioned under Sean McVay, under Kyle Shanahan, I think they only just sit and listen. Seriously, I don't know I don't think they have any input in the offense.
I think they help with the input with the game plan and cutting up, watching tape, saying, hey, what about this, what about that? And obviously McVay and Ben Johnson and Shanahan, they had the final say.
I know, but they're
they call the plays. But they're also, at the same time, Skip, even though you're not heavily involved with calling the plays on game day, I guarantee you that notepad is full of things that they're taking from McVay saying, I like this or I might do this differently.
So they're like stenographers? They just take down.
But that's that's at the end of the day, that's how you get your opportunity. Go from a quarterback coach to an OC. That's how you have to learn from these guys to where they work up the ladder.
I guarantee you Lamar would not respect any of those guys when they walked in the door.
You don't know. I mean, you don't know that, though. They would have to sit down, go through film, talk about what he does well. This is my plan with you. This is what I see, this offense doing next year. This is what we did well. This is how we can take it to the next level. So I do think there would be some respect there because of the coaching tree they're coming from. But yeah, I'm with you. I still wish they would have kept Monken. I think he would have been great for them to keep, especially with the new head coach. But, if you're going to go hire a coordinator, why not go get a guy that's been working with some of the greats right now?
So, Keith.
I think Lamar, go ahead, Skip.
I was going to ask you. You should go before I change the subject. Go.
I think Lamar would respect it because you see what's hot in this league is those style of play, those type of offenses, man. You want to go McVay or Shanahan tree, he'll say, okay, bet we finna get this kind of run game, these kind of passes, or we going Caleb Williams offense, which is very similar to Sean McVay and Mike Shanahan tree.
Great run game scheme too with
great run game.
You gotta run the ball. You got to.
And then you could add a couple of 3 or 4 quarterback runs. Man, I think Lamar say, I want to run what the hot shit is in the league right now. If I can't keep Monkey and run our shit, I want to run what's the hot shit in the league right now.
Okay.
Those guys may not sit there and call it, Skip, but I guarantee you that shit that Liam Cohen was talking about.
Yeah.
You say your defense and they can get to the perfect run. I bet you all those OCs know how to do that. Okay. That's what they learn, and all the little cheat codes and the nuances to get to the perfect play. That's what they learn. And now if they can be leaders, if they can do it on the fly when they under the light, under the microscope, if they can do it in the heat of the battle, that hasn't been determined yet.
Okay.
But some guys can, some guys can't.
All right, so explain this to me. This concerns me and disturbs me. Why are there no young black offensive upcoming coaches? None of these young, hot, coordinator types. We don't have any. I don't get it. I don't know what happened. Can you explain it to me?
I can't explain this shit. Hey, they just ain't in the right rooms, man. Like Sean McVay or Shanahan or Ben Johnson, those guys got to hire one of those guys and put them in place and then let them get out there. So,
but what do you consider young?
Well, all these up-and-comers, all these potentials.
Because Robert Saleh is,
period.
Who's that?
Robert Saleh is not
40.
black.
No, but he's not.
Yeah.
Well, he's just not.
He's not black.
He's not.
And he's a
but
DC.
He is black. He is black.
Is he?
Yeah.
No.
I don't think Saleh. I never met a brother last name Saleh. I'm just saying. I ain't grew up with no brother's last name Saleh.
So if he like from Indonesia or something, that ain't
I
black.
agree.
Nah, man.
Okay, wait. He's actually Arab American.
Yeah, I'm talking about. Hey, look.
He's actually
black,
Lebanese.
bro.
Or something like
What?
that.
That's
Maybe
black.
Lebanese?
Lebanese.
Yeah,
He's
it's
Lebanese.
That's
Okay.
African.
Lebanese is
You know
black.
what?
He's
If we see a
African.
Lebanese woman walking by, we'd say, "Damn, that's a fine black woman." Yeah, I think
Shit, I don't know, man. I have to see her. I know black.
One other
It's
guy
in
I will say,
Africa.
too, thrown out there to keep an eye on, and someone I know personally and I love, is T. Martin, is the
T.
quarterback.
Martin.
There's
He's
one.
a quarterback coach right now,
There.
though,
Okay.
with Baltimore, and he knows Lamar. He's
Yeah.
learning under Monken. If you're going to bring in someone new,
All
why
right.
not consider someone that's already on your staff? I really like T. He was the pass game coordinator when I was at USC. He was a wide
Was
receiver
he?
coach
Okay.
all 3 years that I was
Because he
there.
never gets any shine at all.
I
don't-
love
I don't
T.
hear
Martin,
his
man.
name.
We were really, really close. I have nothing but respect for him and his family. Still talk to him to this day. So that's someone else to keep an eye on, too. If they want to keep that same Monken system and someone that's worked with Lamar, who's been the quarterback coach, I think T. Martin would be another guy
Okay.
that you have to really consider.
All right, fair enough. And Akib, one other quick note here. Does it concern you at all that we keep seeing these guys become head coaches who have no playing background
Man,
whatsoever?
yeah, I was about to get on that.
Were you?
Yeah, go ahead.
That bothers you?
I mean, it definitely bothers me because, man, it's a fast track. They're coordinator here for a year, coordinator there for a year, coordinator here for a year, come in with the best players. They might be top 5, and all of a sudden they're head coach. And you got players, and I'm speaking specifically like, we talked about, what's the Vikings DC? Flores,
Flores.
you got Al Harris in Chicago, what he
Yep.
did in Dallas with the DBs and what he
Yep.
did in Chicago. He's
Yep.
still a DB coach. He ain't
Still
even
a
got
DB coach.
He trying out for a coordinator right now, and
Yep.
all these guys get looked over.
Yeah,
We've
so-
played the game for it.
So Jesse Minter. Yeah, go ahead, Akib.
I'm saying I love Al. You know what I'm saying? He created a lot of
Yeah.
turnovers, but they was back of the pack in passing defense. Like they
Yeah.
wasn't that good for him to be at the front of the list for a DC job. I just don't think so.
I mean, if you creating the most turnovers, two different secondaries, you got league leading in interceptions. You bend, you don't break. Every defense is not about yards; it's about points, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes. But you look at, I got the league leading intercepting in Kevin Byard this year. Look at what I did with Diggs in Dallas.
He did.
11 picks. Now
Lamar.
Diggs is shit.
Yeah.
What
No,
are you
that's
doing
good.
now? So,
Fair.
even Nashawn.
I think he almost there. I think his name is starting to get hot, and Al's name is starting to, you know what I'm saying, catch wind. He come out and he have a defense that's the number 1 passing defense, and we getting turnovers. Boop, that's it right there. He'll be the next hot guy.
Okay, but we
I
really
think-
have to talk
I think
about
right there.
Mentor. Mentor, right? What group has he coached? He's coming up so fast. So,
Yeah.
what group has he coached
Yeah.
to doing anything prolific?
He had that Rams group after they won the chip. You know what I'm saying? I think he had the
Yeah.
Rams group. That was pretty good. Yeah, he had some good defenses. The Chargers was pretty good.
They were.
Yeah.
Okay.
He won the chip.
But-
I mean,
He, like you said, he won.
Yeah.
He had a group in Michigan. They won the chip.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
You had
got-
the
you
best corner in the country in Michigan. You step in, like you said, the groups. You got Derwin James over there. You got, man, these guys gonna be great with whoever they with. That's all I'm saying.
they wasn't. The Chargers wasn't that great before he got
They
there.
weren't. They were not. Yeah, Akib, my point about Jesse Minter is he played allegedly wide receiver at a place called Mount St. Joseph University outside of Cincinnati.
What do you mean allegedly?
Well,
Skip?
because I can't find any stats on it.
We don't know
I
if he
can't-
really played. He was
Yeah, I
on
don't
the
even know if he
team,
played.
but we don't know if he really played.
Okay, but it's D3. So my point is, he came from nowhere except his father was the head coach at Cincinnati.
Yeah.
That got his foot in the door, and he was off to the races.
But you know the quote.
Right,
You can't
so-
play
so
your
you-
coach.
Hey, coach. I mean,
That's
Skip,
your
you want-
question.
Or you teach.
Right.
Same thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
To answer your question, Skip, I don't care if the guy played or if the guy didn't play, because I mean, sometimes players play, man. A lot of players not gonna put in the time that coaches put in.
Yeah.
And they like. I look at it like, man, the coaches are the assistants of the players. Like, I'm a play. I need you to do all the fucking research, go find all the plays they run, put me in the right spot, then I can actually do what you need me to do. Like, you got to do all the work technology and the studying and stuff, and then I just go learn what you tell me to learn, take the test, boom. So all players is not built like that, man. So I don't care. Not all players make good coaches. Not all coaches make good players. I feel like they just two totally different things, and you don't have to be a player in order to be a coach. Now, there's some players who make damn good coaches. You know what I'm saying? Like Aaron Glenn, I felt like his knowledge of the game at DB made him a damn good defensive coordinator. The attitude he brought and everything made him a damn good defensive coordinator. But shit, Wade ain't play.
No.
You feel me? Wade just grew up as a coach, and Wade was a damn good coordinator. You know what I'm saying?
Well, his father was a damn good coordinator.
I think you're speaking more to the opportunity, not the ability.
No, I understand.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on a little bit because Akif's got his Broncos jersey on.